Hey, what's up, everybody? I hope you guys are all doing well out there, staying safe during this pandemic. Thank you for joining my Speedcast interview session today. I'm very excited, very excited. I recently discovered this amazing new show, the series on Netflix, which really touched me emotionally. It's just such an amazing show. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend it. It is called Gentefied. Um, uh, Truly amazing. And I'm so happy because today we have one of the lead um, cast members of this show. He is an amazing, talented. Um, he is just so good in this. He is none other than the talented Soria. Um, I truly recommend it. And once again, thank you everyone for joining my Speedcast. I am your host Julio. So let's get JJ on the live. JJ,
Going on, bro?
how
Boom.
you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you so much, man. Hey, before we begin, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be on my Speedcast, man. I know you're very busy. I know that you guys are prepping. Uh, and congratulations, before anything else, congratulations on Gentefied. Amazing. Your work is just incredible. How you doing, man? How you been?
First of all, teamwork makes the dream work, bro. Julio, thank you for having me on here. I'm doing great. Getting ready to start back on the show. I haven't worked since November of 2019, so I've been on a dry spell, since all this stuff going on. So I'm very grateful to get back to work. I've fortunately had other avenues of making money, uh, doing speaking engagements and doing things for different companies. Red Bull, I'm doing something for the NFL tomorrow for the Super Bowl. So I've been very blessed in other ways, but I'm very eager and excited to get back on the show, doing storytelling, something I'm very passionate about, and telling this story of Gentefied is something I'm very passionate about. And man, the writing team has come up with. We have eight episodes this season, and the characters are so well written, and the stories are just so thick and juicy. It's a lot. It's a nice meat to bite into as an actor. And I know you're an actor as well, so I'm sure you could relate to that. So I'm really excited to get back on into it on Monday. So I have a packed couple of days tomorrow with Super Bowl, then finishing off the day with studying up and getting ready to hit the ground running on Monday.
Man, JJ, and you were so awesome in this. And I don't know if you heard my intro, but Gentefied just touches the soul, man. It's just, and we talked about this. It reminded me so much of my childhood, man. And the way this is written, it's so well written. Kudos to everyone on this production. Like you said, teamwork, right? The actors, the writers, the directors, the producers, the cinematography. Man, this was just so good, JJ. So addicting, bro. Me and my wife, we kept going and going and going episode after episode and we wanted more.
Yeah.
How, you know?
What's up, Victor? Just replying to some of the people that are coming on here. Um, so I'm sorry. What were you saying? The last thing you said?
Oh no, it's just so good, man. It's so addicting and it's just so good to see representation as well, man. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. That resonated with a lot of people. A lot of people. I mean, including myself. When I first read it, that's what came to my mind. I was like, oh shit. It's like peeking through the window of my life per se, right? Like I felt like there, especially the banter, the back and forth between the cousins, that is very relatable to myself and the way I communicate with my cousins who are a bit of like my brothers and sisters, you know, just yeah, just that rapport of how we speak to each other was spot on to me, and it definitely resonated with me, and that's what it seems like the audience saw the same thing. You know, they see Eric as like, oh man, everyone has a cousin Eric, you know, and yeah, everyone seemed to see themselves in these characters, which was really huge for the Latin community, right? A Latinx, Latino community, however you want to refer to it as. Um, the community felt seen for the first time. They felt like their story was properly and authentically translated.
Yeah, you know, when we were watching it, I even told my wife, you know, because you know, I used to go to Boyle Heights as a kid growing up. My
Where you
parents
from?
would always grew up in Gardena, so I grew up in South LA.
Okay.
That, you know,
What high school did you go to?
you're from El Sereno, right?
Yeah, in Sereno, straight up. Yeah, but I was born in Boyle Heights. I was born at White Memorial Hospital.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So man, that's your home, man. That's your.
Talk about life coming full circle, bro. But so you went, what high school did you go to?
I went to Gardena High.
Mm-hmm. I'm familiar. A little bit.
Nice, nice, man. You
Yeah.
know, it's amazing how it did come full circle, and you know, honestly, and you guys shot. I mean, most of it was shot there, right?
Yeah, most of it
On
was done.
location.
Yeah, Boyle Heights.
I told my wife, I feel like just getting the keys. Let's go to Boyle Heights right now, and I know it's not there anymore, but I used to go to Carnitas Michoacan out there all the time.
All right.
I feel like eating some sopes right now, like a Carnitas Michoacan sope. And when they shut down, I think in like 2016, I was so upset. I was like, man, what the heck? Why are they closing this place down? But you know, when they showed like the mercadito scene and all that, it just feels so good, man, to watch on film. But I gotta congratulate you, bro, on season 2. You guys got picked up.
Yeah, man.
You know, you mentioned 8 episodes. Um, you know, me being selfish, I want 10.
Yeah. You know, it's you know, me being selfish and financially, yeah, I would prefer 10 myself. But it ultimately it's whatever's best for the story. And if 8 episodes wraps it up nicely, then I prefer to have 8 quality episodes. Me as an artist, me as JJ wanting to make more money is like, God, give me fucking 15 episodes, right? But I want to, at the end of the day, I don't want anything that's watered down. I want everything to be great, and that's what they're making. They're making a great story. So I say, fuck it, let's do the best solid 8 we can make, right? Make that Kobe beef, that filet mignon, you know what I mean? Each episode
Yeah.
is prime cut meat, and from what I've read all 8 episodes. It's prime cut meat, and I believe everyone's gonna be wanting more, and I love it. I love people be like, we want more, but like you can't get no more unless we, you know, you want to keep leaving people wanting more always.
Yeah, man. And you know, I know that me and my wife, we wanted more right then and there. We're like, okay. She's like, next season. I was like, there is no next season. We gotta wait. She's like, no. I was like, I know. I feel the same way. But you know, you guys on Rotten Tomatoes is very difficult to break, bro. Very, very difficult. And you guys got a 91% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Uh, how did you feel about that, man?
Any recognition is always received with open arms, and you know, anytime someone has something nice to say, it's always nice to hear, right? But if I'm being completely honest and transparent, I do my best not to put too much weight into that stuff. I really am. As long as I look up there, and when I say look up there, whether you know it's a big screen or small screen, I just at the end of the day, I just like to be proud. You know, JJ's tomatoes is what I go by. You know what I mean? It's not about the Rotten Tomatoes. It's about JJ's tomatoes. It's about my opinion that what matters to me. So when I look up there and I'm proud of what we accomplished together as a team, That's what matters. Everyone's gonna have their opinion. Everyone's like, I told. Matter of fact, I hit you up the other day and I told you I was watching the first episode again, and I was like, fuck, I suck. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, I was horrible. But you know, listen, it's not. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that for you to tell me anything about how, you know, to feed my ego. I'm just saying that there's moments where I've seen my stuff and I've been like, oh yeah, I'm the first. I'm my biggest fan. So I'll sit here and tell you all day on how great I am. But I could also see myself and be like, wow, fuck, I suck right there too. So, you know, everyone has their opinion. Sometimes even your own opinion changes, and you just want to do the best work that you can on that day, and then hopefully when it's all put together, you're proud of the story that's being told.
Very well said, man. You know, us as actors, we are our own worst critic, and I agree with you, man. When I see when I do a self tape or anything, or I've done a fan film, I'm so critical of myself. And everyone tells me, "Oh no, that was a shot." I go, "You don't want to do it again? Let's do that shot again. I could do better." "No, that was perfect, dude." And I'm like, and then I look at it, and I'm like, "No, I don't feel comfortable with that scene." But dude, you totally killed it, bro. You nailed it. It was, and I'm gonna give you an example of how good you are. I'm gonna talk about episode 7, Brown Pride, Brown Love.
Oh, that's a great episode.
Oh my God.
Written
Um,
by Macer, I believe.
yeah, man. Let me tell you, me and my wife, we could not contain ourselves, man. We lost it.
Oh.
Uh, we were balling, man. We were balling,
So
and
was I.
and I mean, Joaquin Cosio, I mean, and you, man, that scene, bro, it was just such a touching moment. And let me tell you something. It's very hard to move, especially my wife, and but you guys had her bawling, you had me bawling. I know how hard it is for an actor to get into that emotional state, man. Can you talk a little bit about shooting that scene, being in the moment?
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely prepping throughout the day. I usually, depending on the work that I have for that day, specifically for that day, I was prepping from the moment I left the house to, after the scene, after we did the other work and that scene came up. Um, I had, like, usually when I get to work usually like an hour early, and I'll set up my trailer. I put the music on to set the tone for whatever scenes I got going. It gets me in my feels, so to speak. And there's music that I think speaks to me to a scene, and it just fits me in the right, puts me in the right mood. So I really sat with it at the beginning of the day, went over all my work, and I was like, okay, I got this first, and then I got this fucking scene. So went through that, then went back to my trailer, sat there for, I think, had a couple of scenes in between my last scene and that scene. So I had a little time in my trailer for myself, and I just sat there and just really marinated in that emotional space of, and just holding it in, right? Holding it in, and just sitting in that, and in that torture, if you will, that emotional torture. And then being that way on set and just having my AirPods in, or AirPods in, and looking at the script, my sides. And then I would go do a take, step away, go back into my zone, next take, go back out and hit it. And just being emotionally filled every time. And it hurt. It hurt to do it, but that's where I was supposed to be. I
Yeah,
said,
that's
hey man, I'm not a good actor. I don't act. Act mad, act sad. I don't do that. I play for real. So every emotion you see me play in that moment is real.
and it looked so real, man. I mean, at that moment when I was watching you do that scene, I wasn't thinking, "Oh, what technique is he using?" I wasn't thinking any of that. I was immersed in the moment with you. I felt your pain. I felt, Joaquin's pain for you. And that, to me, that makes a great actor, bro. And you totally nailed that scene. That was just amazing, off the chain. It was just,
Yeah, but
uh,
I'll always and I thank you for that. But I'll always distribute that to the team and say it's always a team effort, bro. The writing is there. Like I definitely bring what I bring to the table, but it all starts with the script and the crew. And I very much communicate with the camera operators and making sure that how is it from this angle, and by when you play as a team, dude, everyone watches your back. You know, when you're watching out for others, you know, am I in the right spot for your camera? You know, everything working out? When you play as a team, it just benefits you more. So I really entrusted my team, and then I bring what I bring to the table, and we all collaborated and made it every scene pop.
And kudos to everybody that did, that contributed to that scene, man. And I think one of the other things that I loved about that scene is it shows the vulnerable side of, because a lot of people, and I hate to say this, but there's a lot of stereotypes towards, the Latino community, the Chicano community, especially when you're from like Boyle Heights, East Los, South LA. They see us and they think that we're automatically, some people,
Gang
not everyone, they
gangbangers in there.
stereotype us, right? They think we're gang members or something, right? And it was beautiful to show, you know, all the people out there that are watching this, that we're vulnerable as well, man. We're not
Absolutely.
just,
Well,
we're
even I'm sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead, JJ.
I was gonna say, well, even the gangbangers are vulnerable people. Even like, I believe that a gangbanger can become a lawyer. All they gotta do is read a book. You know what I'm saying? All you gotta do is read those books. But let's talk about that, because I played a lot of gangbangers. I played a lot of stereotypical characters. I played pimps. I played this, that, and the other. And every character I play starts from a vulnerable place. I come from a place of vulnerability. What led them to that point in their life that they're doing these things? Um, so I don't say that at all to glorify it, but there's a reason why those stories are told. I think that, but that we are not just those things, right? We could also be a lawyer, and that we are lawyers, doctors, uh, teachers, and other professions. But I also don't want to downplay the importance of those people as well. Not referring to the cholos and the pimps and all those. Those people have stories, and the reason those people have stories that are just as worth telling, to find out to understand why they are in those positions, right? Yeah, that's my opinion.
Very well said, man. Very well said. I think all the issues that Gentefied tackles. And before I continue, I just want to remind all of our viewers, if you have any questions for JJ, there's a little question mark box at the bottom right-hand corner there. Go ahead and click on that question mark and put your questions. And as we get towards the end of the interview, we'll go ahead and we'll have JJ answer your questions. So
Click
once
those
again,
questions.
bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, click those questions.
Those questions, and no, I won't be your Valentine. Okay, or maybe I
You can try and ask. You can try. You can try.
will.
uh, One of the things I loved about Gentefied is, the issues that are tackled on these episodes. I love the fact that, it touches on everyone's, there's different issues that are tackled. And one of those issues being, you know, uh, selling out, if you will. I don't know if you want to call it selling out, but as you well know, JJ, parts of Los Angeles have been turning into different areas. I'll give you an example, like Echo Park. When we were growing up, Echo Park, you knew what was going down in Echo Park. You didn't go to
Yeah.
Echo Park
Yeah.
unless you had a really good reason, right?
They used to drain the lake. They used to drain the pond right there. And they find bodies and shit. I remember back. I mean, I still went there. We used to feed the ducks and shit, but there was definitely some bodies in that lake.
And now it's becoming a very hip area, if you will.
People are
It's not.
riding those doves, or what are they? The swans in there and stuff. Those.
It's a long it's far from, Smile Now, Cry Later. I can't remember
Oh
that
yeah,
movie,
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Mi
right?
vida loca.
My Vida Loca, it's all, all these movies. So, Eagle Rock is now, one of those towns as well. Eagle Rock used to be kind of like, you didn't go to Eagle Rock, but now Eagle Rock is big time. The rent is high. There's all these hipster type of stores. And you guys tackle that in this show. You guys tackle, you guys are trying to save, and I don't want to give, I don't, sorry, if you haven't watched it, please watch it. But, there's an episode, I believe it's called episode 9, which is the protest taco episode,
Mhm.
where there's a protest because you guys are catering to the hipster side of town. You guys are trying to save the taco shop. You're trying
Oh,
to
we
do
step up
everything
the
you
menu,
can.
right? We modernized the menu, and some people don't like change, and it's an interesting. I think it's an interesting thing, to say that I don't think there's anything wrong by it. They're trying to keep the shop afloat, right? So
Yeah,
they're trying to make ways and be innovative. But I think change is good. I'm not saying that to push out. Not to say that gentrification is a good thing, but if we were to find ways to modernize old classics, in our own traditions, maybe you can find some benefit there, which is what I think they were trying to do.
I personally don't. In my opinion, when I saw that episode, I thought about my family because, um, you know, I, my parents sold in the swap meets to make ends meet. That's
Mm.
how we put, that's how we
What they
put food on the
sell?
table. They sold pillows, they sold upholstery, material for cars, the swirl diamond tuck that you used to put in cars. They
Yeah.
sold all that stuff, man. And, I was in the swap meets every weekend. San Fernando swap meet, I was over in
Yeah.
Bakersfield on the weekends. And I understood why my parents did it because we needed to put food on the table. And, um, and when I see, Mama Fina's taco shop, it reminded me so much of our situation. You're trying to do the best you can to put food on the table to make a life for yourself. So the fact that you guys were changing the menu and such to appeal to a different crowd, not just the raza in the neighborhood, not just in the barrio, but outside of that. Hey, we want business from everywhere. I thought that was very I thought it was a poignant moment in moving, saving the shop, if you will. So, I could relate to it because of what my parents did. So when I saw the protest, I really got infuriated. I got upset. Personally, I got upset. And I understand why it's be, why, I totally get it why Julissa was doing that, but I thought you guys had to do what you had to do.
Yeah. That's exactly what we're doing. What we had to do.
So
I
I
love,
gotta
I
ask
love,
you.
I love that you're that invested in the story, but that's what makes this story so beautiful, and why more of our communities' stories need to be a light needs to be a spotlight needs to be shined on them, right? So we have a huge community with all of our stories and a lot of stories that are yearning to be heard or seen, right? And that's what seems like to be a big issue. The Latino community, Latinx community, however you want to be referred to as, um, have this yearning to be recognized. And when a show like Gentefied comes, or Vida, uh, they, it causes like all this fanfare because they feel like they're seen.
Yeah, man. And I mean, I think it's such a positive show. I mean, it just
It's
um
real.
it, yeah, it's real and I'm sure it's going to inspire, lots of kids to do, great things whether they get into acting or they get into art, you know, or they get into the culinary arts. I think it's just but it also emphasizes family, which is what Latino families, Mexican American Latino families are all about. It's all about familia. It's all about family. And this show really,
Captures that.
it's so perfect. It just portrays that so well, man.
Again, it's the writing, man. The writing, they do a great job.
The grandfather raising the grandsons. Um, that to me, I could relate. Not from my parents, but cousins. And when I saw that part of it, I thought that that was very realistic, and it spoke, a lot about the Latino community. And I'm not saying that all parents leave their kids to be raised by their grandparents, but a lot of parents do, move, or they go to another job and they leave the kids with their grandparents for stability. Sometimes they take risk. How did you feel about that part of this writing?
I thought that was accurate. It wasn't my my truth, so to speak. My mother, I mean, she did work graveyard at times, and she would put me with like a friend of a friend, who had kids and whatnot. But then sometimes my mom would go out and she'd put me with my grandparents. In regards to the type of relationship that I had with my grandparents, that is very relatable because my grandmother and my grandfather, unfortunately, he was only around for like the first 4 years of my life. But regardless of that fact, my grandmother Irene, my mom's mom, uh, and my grandfather, both were still like my second pair of parents. So when my grandmother passed away at 96, I believe, I felt like I lost my mother. As a matter of fact, I just had a dream about her that was so real about 3-4 weeks ago, where I woke up crying, dude, because I felt her, I hugged her, and she didn't even speak, but I hugged her, and I was like, damn, I missed her. So it was a beautiful moment. So that's what you're talking about, what you relate to, the feelings and the closeness, and that's what what definitely resonates with me. For the role of Eric and Pop, that relationship, there's a tight relationship there. And even though my grandfather was only around for 4 years of my life, he was a father figure for that short period of time, nonetheless.
Yeah, man. It's such a feel good um, show, because it just like you said, it resonates, man. It resonates with a lot of folks out there. There's been other shows like Coco, the movie Coco.
Mhm.
That's another one that just resonates with me, especially with my grandparents. And it's just such positive roles that are showing Latino actors and the Latino lifestyle in a positive way. So I gotta ask you, man. Um, how did this role come about? Did you have to audition for it, or
Yeah,
did
I
they have you in
auditioned.
mind?
I had literally just landed from a flight. I was in Costa Rica and just living my best life. And towards the end of my trip, I read this. I read the script, and I was like, "Damn!" I was out there living my best life. So I didn't want to do no auditions. Usually as an actor, you're always ready to audition for anything. And I was like, "God dang!" I'm not trying to find somebody to read this with, especially out here in Costa Rica. Like I'm trying to do my thing, but the script was so damn good. I was like, I got this. I saw the gold, man. I saw the treasure, right? And then I saw what I could do with this material. We organized it to where I was fortunate enough to push the meeting to when I landed, and I literally landed, went, dropped off my stuff, and went to the audition. And
Oh wow.
that was the first meeting we had. And then even after, like, dog, like I always say, there's 5 guys that are right for every role, right? 5 guys could play the role I played, but I knew what I could offer, and I was like, "Yo, this is it. I'm your guy." And I still had to jump through like 5 more hoops to get that damn job, but we did it. Long story short, jumped through them, and I was very confident about it, and it landed the gig, and here we are now.
The chemistry between you and the rest of the cast is just it's just amazing. Did you guys have to do any chemistry reads, or?
We did, but dog, we put that fucking thing. Like, first of all, Carla Houle, casting director, great casting director. She puts the pieces together. Um, but we were outside, like me and Carlos Santos. he sat down in the waiting room. I'm going, let's go work. And we worked out, and it was instantaneous. I'm like, you're the guy. I was outside your casting. In my own mind, I was like, you're the guy. And then Carrie Martin came up. She just go, yo, let's run the scene together. And we ran it, and we just felt like we not even say that I did it. It's timing, the universe, however you want to put it. Everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. And it felt like that was how it was supposed to happen. We went in the room and ran the scene together, and it just felt right.
Someone just said that the role was meant to be you, JJ, and I totally agree.
I'm honored. I'm honored to do it. I'm honored to do it because I love the fact that, again, I didn't get into this industry to make an impact, to do all this shit. Being an actor wasn't my dream. But I'm very grateful that it was my it's part of my journey that I'm supposed to be doing this, because it's given me an opportunity to use the platform to empower others to see someone that they relate to, they see a bit of themselves in, and be like, oh, if that fool can do it, I can do it. And it doesn't necessarily mean that their it needs to be acting, but whatever their it is, I can do it. I can do it, whatever it is, right? Being a doctor, being a chef, being a lawyer, being an astronaut, being an actor, being a producer. They see someone being quote unquote successful, right? And that's what this platform has allowed me to do, is inspire others. And that is one of the things that I've given that's my purpose in life. That's the purpose I've given myself. And I've been doing it for years. And I'm just grateful that the platform has allowed me to reach so many other people that way. I'm not a role model. I fuck up in life. I'm no way, what I'm saying? I don't like to be labeled that. But if people can find inspiration by seeing themselves through me, then I'll be that vessel of inspiration gladly. And yeah.
Very well said, brother. Very well said. Um, a lot of, you said, this wasn't what you were growing up. When you were growing up, wasn't one of the things you wanted to be, right? But so I gotta ask you, how did that happen? Did you go see something in the theater? Did you watch something on TV and you
Nah,
said, "Oh man, I
I took
gotta
a
do
class
that"?
in college. My college counselor, she goes, you need some extra units, and you could choose between painting, drawing, and theater. And I've never been one for the arts. I've always sucked at arts and crafts and everything. So I was like, painting sounds boring. Drawing, I can't do to save my life. So fuck it, let's do the acting class. I go, at least maybe it'll be fun. I sat up front because that's my approach in life has always been, how I do anything is how I do everything. So I sat up front, paid attention, listened to what acting was about, which was creating characters and telling stories. And it hit me in that moment. I go, I've always loved storytelling. My grandma used to always tell me stories as a kid to put me to sleep, but I would never go to sleep because I wanted to hear more stories. So I go, okay, well, obviously I have a passion for storytelling. And quite honestly, if I'm honest with you, I think I have an interesting look, to say the least. I go, I have an interesting look. If I just put forth the same work ethic that I did towards athletics, I may have not worked out in athletics, but I definitely believe in my work ethic. So I said, I believe in myself. If I just put forth the same work that I did towards athletics into this, I'll figure the rest out. Call it being naive, call it being confident, whatever it was. It got me to where I am today. And that's that.
And you've done such a great job so far, man. You've been in so many projects. I was looking at your IMDb, and you've been in a lot of projects. You've been on another one of my favorite shows, which was Hawaii Five-0, man. Like, I'm jealous that you were on there. But before we continue, just a reminder, everyone, if you have a question for JJ, there's a little question mark button on the bottom right-hand corner. Please click on that and submit your questions, and we'll ask JJ your questions towards the end here. So just a reminder. But, man, you've been on The Purge. You've done so much, man. Is there Gentefied is just really, to me, I think this is, in my opinion, I think this is your breakout role, man. But
Yeah,
you
it's all been a breakout. Every time it's a breakout role. I say I've had to work twice as hard to get half as far, Doug. I'll be honest. I've been doing this for what? I think 16 years, maybe 16, 17 years I've been acting now. And as much as I've done, you know, and I don't know where this is coming from, but I'm going to say it regardless. Um, I'm not I'm not one of the popular entertainers or actors, however you want to refer to it. I just been working because of solely off of my work ethic. You know, people see my work, and I'm fortunate to get other jobs. But it makes me think, well, maybe it's because we're not highlighting enough of these stories. Maybe if we do more Latino, because how many name Latino actors do you know? You know, Javier Bardem, John Leguizamo, uh, you know, fucking George Lopez. You know, like there, but I can name a few, but we need more. We need more. And I
Yeah,
would love.
man.
I mean, part of me says, you know, I kind of am intimidated to the spotlight, so to see, so to speak, because I'm like, do I want all that attention? I kind of like being low key. I like going to fucking the market and people being like, I know you from somewhere, but I just don't know where. And I'd be like, it's probably the grocery store, you know. You know, maybe if I pick my nose or something, no one's gonna have it all over the tabloids or some shit. You know what I mean? So I guess it's you gotta be careful what you wish for in that aspect.
Yeah, man, totally. Hey, I would mess with people if I was, you know what I would say? I would say, I'm the elote guy. I was in your neighborhood last week.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you probably just know for the laundromat dog or yeah, they're not that man. That'll work.
But you're absolutely right, bro. You know, Michael Peña and Pedro Pascal can't play every single Latino role, man. They can't.
Yeah,
You can't put Michael Peña in every single movie.
they
You
want
know,
to.
as much they
And that's the thing is, right here, I saw someone just said you're an awesome killer actor. I got to see some of your work. Um, we have tons of talented people out there, bro. There's a tons of talent in the Latin community, and I'm excited for all of it to be exposed.
Yeah, and you know you brought up the storytelling. You know, there's so many good stories, especially Latino stories. You know, whether they're Mexican American stories, Mexican or Cuban stories, or Puerto Rican or Central
Yeah,
American stories. So many stories that could be brought to to light, to the screen or to streaming. And you know, streaming right now, that's it, man. Streaming is where it's at because of the pandemic. Unfortunately, you know, we can't go to the theater anymore. The spotlight is on TV streaming, which I think is way long overdue. And the fact that, Hollywood is changing a little bit with diversity, you know, we're not there yet. You know, we're getting there. But you know, if we can have more representation, I think that would be awesome, man.
it's
And
happening. It's happening little by little.
you know, if we could get more of the Robert Rodriguez's directing, you know, more of the Alfonso Cuarón, the
You know
Guillermo
what?
del Toro.
That's also to take it back. I think the more they see themselves, you know, the younger generations coming up, the more they see people in those positions, whether it be actors, producers, directors, and forth, and whatnot, they see themselves, right? And then they're like, oh well, again, if they can do it, I can do it. It makes it that much more attainable, right? When I saw
Yeah,
when I saw John Leguizamo um, in Spawn, and I just love his character in Spawn. That clown he played is so awesome. And even going to his one man shows, I saw a bit of myself in him, and so there was even if it was subconsciously or consciously, I had a moment of if I can do it, I can do it too. So yeah,
you know, my favorite movie with him is The Pest. I love.
that's funny.
he, he's so good, and you know, it would be cool if they do like a sequel to that, and maybe they cast you as a son or something. That would be
I
so
wouldn't be
cool, man.
surprised, dog, because I've been compared to that fool since I was in junior high. I had this friend in junior high named Samir. We used to always go to the basketball courts to play basketball, and he goes, "You know who you look like?" And I'll be like, "Who?" He goes, "You look like," and here I'm hoping it's Mario Lopez. You know, like who you look like? He's like, "You look like the Pest." I'm like, "The Pest? who was that? He goes, the pest, man, the pest. And I look him up. John goes, man, I don't want to look like John Leguizamo. No offense, John, but I didn't want to look like you. I want to look like Mario Lopez.
Oh,
You know,
oh. when he
whatever.
when he when he got that Spawn role, man, I was like, I was geeking out because I was collecting Spawn, comics back then.
I got that one. I got the first one.
Dude, you're gonna hate me. I just met Todd McFarlane at Comic Con in 2019.
Right
I took
on.
a picture. I took a picture with him, man. I was geeking out. I was like,
That's
oh my
dope.
God, Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn. I was like,
That's dope.
hey, once again, you guys, if you have a question for JJ, put your questions down in the question
If
mark
they don't,
icon. We're
if they don't
doing.
have no questions, they don't have no questions.
Oh, you got some questions already, man. But I got some other questions for you before we get to those.
All right.
Um, so you did a role a few years ago on Grimm. You played the luchador Goyo, and I gotta say, I envy you and I hate you for this one as well because you got to work with one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Chavo Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, Chavo. That was fun.
How was it, man? Were you a fan of Chavo and like and
I was
rest
a
in
little
peace, Eddie Guerrero? Were you a fan of the
Eddie Guerrero.
genre?
I'm familiar with Chavo. I was little. It was, during that. Quite honestly, during their time, I had already stepped away from when. See, man, the WWF had me until I realized it was fake. I tried so long to hold on to that belief. I tried so long to hold on to that belief, but after I think 12 years old, I was like, man, I could, but not to say it's not. It takes a lot of athleticism to do that stuff, and they can get hurt, right? But I prefer more MMA and boxing and that type of combat. But back to what we're talking about with Grimm and Chavo and whatnot, that was a really cool experience to play a luchador and to have Chavo, teach me a few things. And also, I mean, they actually had a stunt guy do the main stuff. But also, quite honestly, it gave me an opportunity to flex my muscle and help Chavo with the acting part of things. We went off to the side and I worked with him on the scene so it could come out better and smooth. And we both helped out each other. It was a really awesome experience. I really loved the costumes. I loved being in the ring and the whole setup they had there with the fans and everything. That was fun. The makeup when I transformed into that monster and the whole makeup job they did was phenomenal. So it was really fun experience.
Bro, and you look like you got yoked, man. You were working out too, right? You look like you were
Bro,
like,
I mean, I'm always working out, but best believe I was in between takes doing as many push-ups as I could, dog. I was like triangle push-ups till they said action, dog, just so I can get like an extra pump. So the titties can be a little bit off flex, you know what I mean?
I do the same, man. I do the same. I get to the side and I start doing push-ups.
Trying to
That
make
was
up for all
awesome.
that, trying to make up for all those tortillas you ate and shit.
Did you get claustrophobic when they put the prosthetic mask on you or anything? Did you get?
No, I was fine with it. I'm trying to think back. That was a while ago. No, I just wanted not to sweat so much, right? Just so everything would move properly. I had to make sure that how my mouth moved and everything just felt normal and that it was all working. It was good.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I envy you, man, because I've been a fan of Mexican wrestling all my life, and for you to work with Chavo Guerrero Jr., that's awesome, bro. But let's
Yeah.
get to some of these questions. Actually, yeah, let's get into some of these questions. So let's take a look here. Here we
What's
go.
up,
Here's
man?
the can you see that, JJ?
Says favorite show or commercial that you felt grew you the most. Favorite show or commercial that made you felt grew grew you the most. So I grew as a person. Hmm. The 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 show that I really have a strong connection to right now. I mean, Gentefied is um, the most relatable thing I've ever done, right? Where I could that I bring from my own life into the story that I'm. They're kind of parallel to some degree, right? Not really, but some degree. But the oath, the character, the growth that I had as JJ, um, owning my position, playing my position on the team, so to speak, and I really wanted to make sure that I used whatever power that I thought that I had and bringing my team together and yeah, like like you do on any sports team. Even to give you an example, when I played football, I hardly ever played, but I was still looked upon as from the receiver group. I was looked at as a leader, which was surprising to me because I wasn't starting, but my voice and how I spoke and I am a leader, right? So I try to use that persona in the realm of in this new sport that I play called acting, and I play my position. I look at myself as a quarterback. And I don't know if everyone else looks at me that way, but I look at myself as a quarterback, and I pull my team together and be like, "Yo, we're gonna do this together." Especially because in this industry, you can't come across a lot of personalities that their egos may be inflated and whatnot. So I try to kind of kill that shit and make sure that people know that I'm not about that, right, and kind of set the tone. You know what I mean? And so to answer that question, the growth was being able to fill out those shoes, to know, to really own it. I've been little by little over my career as I've gotten more experienced, more seasoned as an actor. Each opportunity, I've filled those shoes more and more. But the oath was, especially the second season, I spoke more, and whether my thoughts were accepted or not, I just played that position to the fullest capability, and really have gotten a great grasp of it in Gentefied by playing that position. So hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah,
What's up,
you know what? I totally.
What's up, Rolo? It's my friends.
I gotta give a shout out to Jose Palma. He's on here as well. Jose Palma from The Liberator. I don't know if you watched that yet, JJ, but he's on here as well. What's up, Jose?
What's up, Jose? Lori?
And someone just said, Marlene just said, so happy that my kids will have these shows available to them growing up. I'm in Canada, so it was even harder to find Latino content. So you are making an impact, bro. And you talked about football. I'm a huge Rams fan. I don't know who you follow, but
LA, anything representing LA, dog. As long as you
yeah,
represent LA, listen, I know for a long time I was a Raiders fan for a long time. But you can't lose so goddamn much, man. But as soon as I was thankful they left LA so I could go for somebody else that, representing. I'm an LA fan. That's what I am. That's where I'm from. So if you rep in LA, I ride with you.
hey man, Dodgers, Lakers, Dodgers, Lakers, Rams for life, man. LAFC too. So I see you wearing the Rams jersey on the show too. I thought that was I love that, man. You wore the Dodger gear and the Rams gear. I
As you
loved it.
should, right? From LA, that's what you're gonna sport.
Representing, man. I loved it. So there's another question I hear that I totally agree with this. Someone says I can see JJ playing the life of Hector Macho Camacho.
Victor's a homie of mine for a long time. Thank you, Vic, for that statement. I'd have to lose a lot of weight. Macho was at like at 135 or some shit. I'm 170 right now. I'd have to turn into a twig, but I would gladly embrace an opportunity to play any kind of fighter, whether it be a boxer or an MMA fighter, whether it's fiction or non-fiction, to tell those stories. I love the combat world. The combat martial arts teaches you a lot about yourself, and I've applied a lot that I've learned in the martial arts to my life, and part of my life being the acting world. I've applied what I've learned in the ring and applied it to there too.
I personally can see you more of like a Juan Manuel Marquez. I think if you played his life story, I think you would
Knock it
be
out,
perfect.
Pacquiao.
You know, I mean, of course they would have to give you some apple juice, you know, for when you drink the urine, right? Because, you know,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
he's famous for that, right? He drinks his own urine, right?
He did. Well, he did. I don't know if he does anymore. He's retired now, so I don't know what the purpose of that would be now. But I think he might have stopped it after he lost that fight though, because I think wasn't he doing that against Mayweather, and he got
Yeah,
yeah he got
yeah, and Mayweather was just like, oh, well, have him checked, have him tested, you know, whatever, Mayweather. But yeah, but I totally see you playing that role.
I would have loved to play Duran.
Oh yeah, manos de piedra.
I would have to
Oh,
learn. I would have to really learn my Spanish to do that. But what a great what a great life to portray.
yeah,
What a
you would have
warrior.
to learn. Yeah, man, he's just such a legend, and you would have to learn the Nicaragua accent, right?
Yeah.
That would,
No,
dude,
no, no,
you
no.
would.
Is it Nicaragua or was it?
Was it Panama? Oh,
It
Panama.
might have been Panama.
Was he Panama? Oh, I think he's Panama. You're right.
Panamanian. I think it's Panamanian.
Yeah, but man, that guy, him and his fights with Sugar Ray, wow.
I'll
He
play
was just,
Chavez. I'll play any of those legends.
oh my God, if you play Julio Cesar Chavez, man, that will be
Let's keep
the best.
let's speak it into existence, man. I'm looking at a few projects myself right now that has fighting incorporated in the story. That's my wheelhouse. Anything physical. That's the stuff that I really want to be doing moving forward in my career. A lot of action because of the fact that I have always been physical in my life and playing sports. All the shoot 'em up, bang bang shit. Sign me up. I'm all about it. War, whether it be in theater, meaning in the field, you know, like as a military character, or war on the streets. I'm all about it.
Bro, I hope and pray that one day I reach your level. I get to
There's
your
no
level
level,
one day.
dog. What are you talking about? There ain't no level. You're an actor, and don't even use the words aspiring. I walked out of that first acting class saying I was an actor. I didn't even do it. I didn't even get up and actually perform before I made that decision. I go, oh wait, storytelling. Oh, I love storytelling. Oh shit, I'm an actor. I just had to learn how to do it. I had to learn the process. But self-belief, stop. Don't wait for anyone else to approve of you. Approve of yourself. If you believe you could do it, then just do the work. Do the work to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And even when you go, I tell this to all actors, when you go to audition, don't go to seek approval to, am I good enough? No. You go in there to give your take. You're a chef. You're an artist. Go give your interpretation. Go give your interpretation. Leave them with that. Yeah, bounce. You know what I'm saying? And if it ain't, if the role don't fit, or if the chemistry don't fit because that's not how they see the character, that's all good. There's no big role. There's only the next role. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much for that, man. That means a lot coming from you, man. I truly appreciate that. And I'm gonna definitely use your words of advice. But getting back to the fighting, roles that possibly can go out there,
That's why I should
dude.
have been a fighter, because I have the confidence of a fighter. I have the confidence of a fighter. That's why I should have been doing it. It's a tough way to make a living, and I've lost enough brain cells, and I probably have enough CTE. But I think that's probably what the route I should have got, and especially because everyone wants to punch me in the face. So it seems.
Hey, man, maybe you could pitch a story to like Guillermo or Alfonso.
I'm working on produce. I know I have the resources to produce, and I'm looking to produce my own shit now as well.
That would be so awesome, dude. I mean, something like that is so overdue if you think about it. Why don't we have a Chavez biography? Why don't we have, a Duran biography? Why don't we have all these fighters that are legendary fighters? Why don't we have stories about them? And, I mean, that would just be so amazing to have something like that. And to, if someone, a screenplay writer would just create something like that, even if you have some friends or associates that would write something like that, that would be just so amazing.
Yeah, I'm putting my
And
team together right now. I'm putting teams together.
Man, that would be awesome. And if it is a Chavez one, man, I would love to, yeah, the recreation of the Chavez Meldrick Taylor fight. That would just be amazing.
That would be
He
that would be
lost that fight. He was losing that fight
yeah.
until
The
he knocked
last
him
fucking
out.
second caught him with that shot.
But man, hey, I just want to thank you, JJ. Thank you so much for being on my Speedcast today, man. I know that you're very busy with season 2 coming up here.
Yeah.
And just so for all you guys out there, memorizing those lines is very tough. It's very tough, and but once you get into this industry and you immerse yourself in the moment, you become the character. It all it becomes a little easier. So JJ, do you have any upcoming projects? We mentioned a
Besides,
couple. Any
besides,
projects?
besides Gentefied, that's all that's on the radar right now. I have some things that I'm cooking up to produce as well. Um, and then as far as looking out for other gigs in the future, I'm primarily looking for action kind of projects. Those are the worlds I see I fit best. Um, that's where I think I could do the comedy, I could do other types of things, but I believe action is where I want to be. Those are the stories I want to be in. So I'm gonna manifest it, create it, and do it.
Well said, my brother. And I look forward to all the work that's coming out from you, man. I totally do. If you need someone to play the trainer,
You train?
if you need someone, no, if you need someone to play the trainer for your Duran or your Marquez, I'm the guy, man. I've been a boxing fan all my life, and just like you, I play football, basketball, baseball. I love the contact sports, but definitely if you need someone to play the trainer, man, I could. Julio por tus hijos, that train. When they're
Yeah,
telling
there it is.
when they're telling Julio to fight for his kids all the time in the corner,
Mm-hmm.
Julio, halo por tus hijos. I can do a little bit of that.
Were you there? Were you
But
in
I'm
his
just,
corner? I'm just kidding.
huh?
I said, were you there? Were you in his corner?
Julio, pelea por tus hijos. I'm just kidding. But thank you so much. I truly appreciate your time, man, and much love. And God bless you. And I look forward to everything that's coming out from you. And hopefully your next project, man. I wish to have you here again in the future. And much love. And do you want to say anything to your fans before we finish?
Well, first and foremost, I want to tell you again, thank you, Julio, for inviting me on. It was important to me to use the platform that I have to share with you as well, and you as you shared me with yours. Um, and just tell you because I know you're an actor as well. So what I said before, don't try to seek approval in what you're doing. Go in there and just give your take. You're an artist. You're a chef. You're a cook. So go in there and do and be empowered. Walk into your auditions with something to give as opposed to trying to get something. Don't go in there trying to get a job. Go in there to give them a taste, to give them a taste of what you got cooking, right? You go in there, you cook with them. You go in there, meaning they give you the notes and whatnot, and you collaborate with them, and then you walk out and let it be. You go on to the next meal. You know what I mean? So keep doing your thing, and whether your thing be with interviews or in the acting world, everybody else out there, I appreciate you for supporting me. And if you're new to me, I would say follow me because I even bigger picture, man. I think about life. I'm more of a philosopher than anything. I'm not one to identify myself as an actor, and I'm what I have to offer as a human being is way more than I have to offer as an actor, and I already offer a lot as an actor. So I think that you might tune in and capture something that might help you out in your life, and I say that humbly, you know. But I've been working on myself for a while, and so far so good.
Thank you so much, JJ. Very well said. You're the man, dude. Seriously, you're the man. And I look forward to seeing you in the future. And thank you so much. And who you got tomorrow, man? I got KC.
Chiefs, tune into
That's what
my live tomorrow. Oh yeah, tune into my live tomorrow for the Super Bowl at 2:30. I'll be giving away a couple things and making a donation to a charity and do a little trivia, talk a little bit about Lombardi. It'll be a nice little moment.
Awesome, man. Enjoy the game, man, and be safe out there. Everyone, be safe out there. Wear your mask, guys.
Yeah.
Please be safe. Enjoy the game. JJ, much love and respect to you, man.
What's
Thank
up,
you
bro?
so much, man. Thank you so much. You take care, man. God
Until
bless.
next time, bro. Later.
Take care.